Joshua was a 3-year-old little boy who came to me with an obstructed kidney. He had a developmental problem where there was blockage of the ureter tube, the tube that drains the kidney, and as a consequence he had developed a large kidney stone that was lodged in the blockage. So in a sense he had two problems, a blockage and a stone that needed to be corrected.
From the minute we walked in the morning of surgery, where you would expect to be nervous and scared, I walked in a little nervous, but they were waiting for us. And then we were assigned an ambassador named Joanne, and she came to me and gave me a hug and was like, "I'm here for you, and I'm here to take care of you and your family, and if there's anything you need, just let me know, and I'm going to follow you through your stay here." So then, when it was actually time for them to go, they actually picked him up and put him over their shoulder and carried him back. And it was like they were taking care of their own child, not just a stranger. And then Dr. Keating came in and was like, "This is gonna go well, it's gonna go great, and I'll talk to you in just a little bit." And then he called us during the procedure on my cell phone personally and said, "This is where we're at, this is what we're doing during the surgery, and everything's looking great." And it was just such a comfort to know that he was in good hands and being taken care of. The day after the surgery, when Lily came in, I think Dr. Keating could tell that the relief for Lily when she saw her brother, and then the absolute change in my son from being fearful and in pain to when he saw his sister.
Twins have a very unique bond, and I'm sure that she felt some of what her brother was going through and the anxiety in the family and the upsetness, which is totally understandable. You know, these are 3-year-old children who are 1,000 days old, but she had a little doll, and you know, I think perhaps in some way transferred what she was feeling for her brother to her little doll, who was also injured in a special way.
Dr. Keating came in the day after surgery to check on Josh, and he's just playing and talking to him and changing his dressing, and Lily walked up to him and said, "Dr. Keating, look at my doll." And he noticed that her arm was kind of hanging by a strip of material. And he's like, "Let me check her out." And he put her down on Josh's bed and took her clothes off. And he's like, "Oh my goodness, what happened here?" And she told him, "You know, we were playing Ring Around the Rosie and I ripped her arm off." He's like, "Would you be willing to leave her with me for a few days and let me fix her?" And she was like, "Really? Does she get to stay in the hospital with Josh?" And he's like, "I'm going to take her with me. I'll take her home with me, and then I'll bring her back to the hospital and I will fix her up. And then when you come back for Josh's appointment, you can pick her up." And she's like, "Okay, you can take her." And he like wrapped her up and took her away. And sure enough, when we went back to our follow-up appointment, we walked in and Dr. Keating was waiting, and he's like, "I have a surprise for you." And he brought her in this basket, and he undressed her with Lily and just really interacted with her.
Lily was an adorable child to begin with, so she just had a grin from ear to ear and gave me a big hug, and but that happens in my office all the time, and that's the best reward about taking care of children. It didn't take hours. It took a few minutes to make a difference, and I think that's the most important thing. I mean, we have so many opportunities to take just little bits of time to make a difference for people and for children, that it's an easy thing to do. And if you do it, it comes back to you in spades.